Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young, man. Thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your support, man. Comments in the comment sections in the videos, tuning into live subscribers since day one, recent subscribers, as I always say in my videos, as I have been saying in my recent lives, and I'm saying as an introduction to the lives. I really appreciate each and every one of you, man. Thank you guys so much, man. I went live earlier, and man, me and LeVar have been going back and forth throughout the week and saying, you know what? I'm itching. We're itching to go back live, man. We got to go back live, man. It's just an honor and a pleasure to have, the honorable guests that I have been having here on the platform that I've been having. And, just the community that's been tuning in, man, to the live sessions, man. We just there's so much to talk about when it comes to sport of boxing, man. Boxing, it's just so many things going on, you know what I'm saying? And it's just great. I hope everyone's safe. Hope everyone's doing good. And those who will be jumping in, man, or if anybody tunes in after this live session, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go ahead and like and subscribe for all the new listeners. You know what I'm saying? Recent subscribers. As I said, Renee Boxing is simply a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, and just simply talk about the sport of boxing. Take the hate somewhere else. We ain't got time for that. So you know what it is, man, how we do it here. So definitely we have an open mind for everybody here. So it's a welcome platform. It's a welcome community. So thank you guys so much, man. Those who are jumping in the building, those who will jump in, thank you once again. LeVar, how you doing? Bruce, how you guys doing?
Good, my brother. How about you?
Great, man. How you doing, Bruce?
I'm ready for some boxing talk over here, man. And this is a place to be.
So how's y'all's weekend going? Oh, busy weekend, huh, LeVar?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, look, I woke up this morning. I was at the car dealership at 10 a.m. And I just got back now. So, I'm just glad to be home.
Cool, man. Good stuff.
What about you, Bruce? The Registry of Motor Vehicles? No, that's not open on a Saturday, is it?
No, yeah, no, it is. So my fiance Kristen, she needed a bigger vehicle, so we went and traded in her old car for something bigger. So yeah, man, I'm proud of her, and she deserves it.
Oh, trade in, cool, trading it in. All right.
And you had to, was it a hassle in the Registry of Motor Vehicles or what?
Yeah, it was the title part, because she got the car in Kansas, but with the title there was something wrong with the title. Was either belonged to Kansas or Illinois. So we had to get all that stuff straightened out. Luckily we did, and yeah, she drove home in the car SUV that she wanted.
Cool, man. Congratulations. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey, man, she better. How long I was in that car dealership?
Yeah, of course. All the paperwork and all that stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yes. I had to go to the registry. Very seldom do we have to go there now. We can do it online, and we don't have to do it in person. Go through AAA. Well, I had to deal with them last September, and it's funny. I live in such a small state where somebody who knows somebody. I was walking out, and after we got through in court, there was a huge line to pay your fines and stuff. And girl behind the counter, I hear, "Hey Bruce," and I look. It was a girl who I used to work with in a restaurant. She was a waitress, and now she works for the state. She's like, "Come over here. I want to talk to you." And I felt guilty. I was out of there in 10 minutes, where it would have taken 2 hours to wait in line and explain everything when you got to the end of the line. So that's my little Registry of Motor Vehicle story.
So Bruce, pretty much is saying that you skipped the line.
Skipped the line.
Oh.
And they also have a branch in my town for a registry, which is always packed. But the girl who runs that, her husband used to be my roommate. So it's such a smooth thing with the registry. It used to be a headache, and now it's a breeze. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but things are good right now.
Okay, Bruce got the connections there, Renee.
Yeah,
hey,
that's cool.
A small state, like I said, everybody, and if you don't know them, you know somebody they know, and it's the truth. And that goes right on down to the governor and the mayor. It's a small state, and it's not a lot of people here.
Hey Bruce, you want to know something? So back in my days when I was on active duty, I used to work in Washington, D.C., and I used to work with a lot of Marine Corps lawyers, and I used to send them to training up in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, Newport's 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, I used to send them there all the time. I meant to tell you that.
It's funny.
Straight out of Yeah, go ahead.
I know back in the day, Newport was a Navy base. It was
Right.
overrun by sailors, and in the 70s, the governor at the time, he disbanded the Navy in Newport, and they still have a small base there. They still have ships there, but it was huge. I mean, it was like as big as Pearl Harbor was back then on the East Coast. Newport was just all sailors, and now it's a resort town. Very expensive, nice place to be, nice restaurants, mansions. I mean, it's right on the ocean. If I was in the service, I wouldn't mind being stationed in Newport.
Sounds cool, man. Awesome. Good stuff, man. DP Rock is in the building, man. Thanks so much. Straight out of Cincinnati. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, what's going on, DP Rock? Thanks so much for jumping in, man. I really appreciate you. Soccer Training Club, the queen. Be that queen.
Shout out to the queen. Be that bitch. Yeah.
Salute, queen.
Man, how you doing?
Everybody.
Yeah, definitely, man. And
I always get a smile when I see her come into the room.
Yeah, great woman. You know what I'm saying? She's a fighter, definitely, man, in life, and blessings to her, definitely. I hope you feel the peace. Be that queen. I hope you get the peace that we feel right now. You know what I'm saying? Just spread it around. That's what this platform's about. Definitely get that, calmness. You know what I'm saying? She's a fighter in life, definitely, man. Prayers up for you, sister. And so definitely, yeah, man. DP Rocco, once again, thanks so much, man. We got some boxing to talk about, man. And obviously we do a little chit chat, you know what I'm saying? Before we get to the boxing talk. So
shout out to the Soccer Training Club too, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's loyal. He's been here for a long time.
Yeah, Soccer Training Club. I'm gonna wrench you guys up. Be that queen, DP Rocca. I just gotta I don't have right now many windows open right now. So
B, she's wrenched.
Oh, is she? Okay, DP Rocca. Yeah. I'll be wrenching you up soon, DP Rocca. I just don't have my applications all opened up. So yeah.
Yeah, Soccer Training Club isn't yet, but
I'll get you too. Soccer Training Club, I'll get you too. Okay, so yeah, I'll get you guys up. I'll get you guys up soon. So yeah, just because for the fact that I'm at my house right now, and I just sent you that message, LeVar, so you can have that heads up, right? Did you see that? Yeah. Okay. So I'm at my house. So I try not to open many windows up. So for the same reason, so I won't lag and stuff like that. So, all right, man. So that's the reason why I can't wrench up right now. So, but eventually I'll be wrenching you guys up. Thank you guys so much for jumping in the building, man. I hope you guys are doing great. So it's fight weekend, even though it's kind of a mediocre fight weekend. Let's get into that right now. Let's get into that talk right now. We got several things to talk about here. So, it's fight weekend, but at the same time, it's quite mediocre. I mean, I know what you guys know. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Be that queen. I'm saying all you guys who are jumping in the building. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So really nothing exciting, you know what I'm saying? But there is some intrigue to this. And interestingly enough, towards the end of my last live, I went live earlier today. Just me alone, and you guys jumped in the building. I saw you guys, you know what I'm saying? Bruce, LeVar, you know what I'm saying? And other people in the chat, man, new listener from the UK, great stuff, man. Had some new listeners jumping in, and at the end of the live, it was interesting because I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to watch this fight tonight, and y'all know who it is, Canelo versus Yildirim. Y'all know the story. Don't have to dig that up, but as far as what we already know, but towards the end of that session, one of those who were viewing chatted and said that, it's probably fixed. And Bruce was talking a little bit about it earlier that, there's people going around saying that it's possible that Canelo's going to let this Yildirim guy beat him. I don't think that's going to happen. No. But at the same time, there are some people out there also thinking that Yildirim is going to come and bring an upset. Apart from, if we just focus on the fighters alone, stylistically speaking, you know what I'm saying, their trajectories, this is going to be like a blowout fight for Canelo. Easy work. Everybody knows the story here, okay? When we look at it on paper and looking at the trajectory of these two fighters, okay? Approximately Yildirim coming from an approximate, 2-year layoff, if I'm not mistaken, last fight before he had the layoff, he lost. Got smashed by Eubank Jr., et cetera, et cetera, et cetera with this dude. No surprise here. I mean, but at the same time, some people are saying, you know what, there might be an upset, or you know what, maybe it's fixed because this and that. First, let's go to LeVar, then we'll go to Bruce. What are your thoughts on that, LeVar?
For those who think that Yildirim this fight is fixed and Yildirim is going to beat Canelo, no, I don't see that happening. Renee, it's like what I texted you last night. Canelo is all about his legacy. How would his legacy look if he loses to Yildirim?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? I think this is going to be a coming out statement for Canelo. I really think the fight is not going to last that long. Not unless Canelo is punishing him and he feels sorry for him to where he's going to try to carry him for 12 rounds. But other than that, I don't see Canelo losing to Yildirim. No, because we all know that Canelo is about his legacy. He wants to break records. He wants to set records. You know, he wants to be bigger than Floyd Mayweather. So lost to Yildirim,
Exactly.
pretty much got mollywopped by Eubank Jr. I don't see that happening.
Canelo, Canelo would turn into a laughing stock, man. I mean, if he were to lose against, it doesn't matter about his record. It doesn't matter who he fought. If he were to lose, and he has a present in his mind. I know Canelo has in his heart and his mind. If I lose this guy, look, real quick. Then we'll continue with LeVar, then we'll go to Bruce. Okay.
Absolutely.
Real quick, watch. I said it earlier in my live today when I went live, flash live. I was watching a couple interviews on Canelo and this whole build up of the Yildirim stuff. This was like 2 days. He got interviewed by one platform, which is called Ahora o Nunca in Spanish, and another platform on ESPN, all in Spanish. So I get a unique perspective when these reporters talk to Canelo. So they were questioning him. It was crazy because the first questions they asked him, they didn't say nothing like "How you doing?" and so how do you feel or nothing like that. They just went directly, boom. What do you think about the critics? First questions, bro. What do you think about the critics that have criticized you about your career and the opponents you faced? And that's the first questions they asked this guy, man. and Canelo's like, man, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this. He's frustrated, man. Canelo, he's not happy. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I say this is because imagine if he were to lose to Yildirim. Oh my gosh, dude, he would turn into a laughing stock in the sport of boxing. I mean, nobody would care who he fought. Nobody would care about his. Nobody would care. Oh, he has Cotto in his resume. He has Mosley in his resume. He has Kovalev in his resume, and no one would care. They would just, oh my gosh, it would be. So that's one of the reasons why I think LeVar and Bruce that Canelo ain't gonna risk losing, man. He's gonna come in and like you said, LeVar, I think he's gonna come in and just try to make a statement to the world. Go ahead and continue, LeVar, and then we'll go to Bruce.
And like I said, Canelo's not worried about the money. The money's there.
Exactly.
The money is there, so he's not worrying about it. But like I said, man, it would take, if he loses to Yildirim, that his legacy would take a major hit. I just don't see Canelo doing that, man. He's not gonna do that. Either one, he's gonna knock him out quick, or two, he's gonna carry him for 12 rounds. But he's been taking a lot of criticism, so we don't know what's gonna happen with this fight. The only person that knows is gonna be Canelo himself. Canelo has the opportunity to end it early, or like I said, he can try to carry him to 12 rounds. We're gonna end up seeing tonight.
D Hodge is in the building. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for jumping in. We got G5 in the building, man. Thank you so much, man. You guys are awesome jumping in the building, man. Let me get to the and then we're gonna get to Bruce Goes right here. We got here D Hodge just saying, I think it might be a real fight. I don't think so, bro. I don't know, man. But what do you think about this, Bruce? What we're talking about?
I'm looking at the fight too, and it looks like it's a boring fight on paper. You're talking about a sparring partner who hasn't fought in 2 years. And he's coming off a loss at that. It doesn't even look like it's worth tuning in. Never mind paying $50 for.
Exactly.
And the undercard, the big undercard fight was canceled on it. Julio Cesar.
And I wanted to see that fight.
Yeah. So this fight right here is who's really interested in it. We know Canelo's going to win the fight, but then there's all these conspiracies, and I enjoy listening to them, and they're talking like, well, Canelo's going to take a dive in this fight. He's going to make big money. The odds are astronomical. He can bet against himself, and he can clean house, and his sparring partner could be in conspiring with him. It's laughable, but how many weird things have we seen in boxing that have happened? So it just keeps it interesting. It's just another little facet that's in there, and if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into the conspiracy and you're into crooked fights, and right now the talk is with MTK taking over boxing, which is supposedly run by the mob. I'm going to keep an eye on that fight because who knows what's going to happen. And when it does, I just want to say that I saw it.
Hey, Renee.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my thing. If Canelo loses to Yildirim, do you understand what type of, not only to Canelo's legacy, but to the sport of boxing, that's going to drive people away. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't.
They're going to say this guy really wasn't what everyone was saying.
Right. Or if they're like, oh, if the fight's rigged or fixed, people are going to leave. Those people are going to stop watching the sport of boxing and gravitate to another combat sport, which is going to be the UFC. So at the end of the day, I just do not see Canelo losing to Yildirim. The only person that I've seen that has taken 2 years off to come back and dominate was when Floyd Mayweather came back and beat Marquez.
Exactly, yeah.
And we're all saying that Yildirim, who's been off for 2 years, is going to come back and beat Canelo, and Canelo's been active. Please.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, now, but then again, I think this is what Bruce is saying. This is the only reason that intrigued me to watch this fight. That's the only reason, because, like I said, in the live I went on earlier, when I went flash live, one of the people who were tuning in from the UK, he mentioned that. He said, boxing is sold to the mafia, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all can go back, check it out in the comment section. And he said, and he even said, you know what? I'm gonna go all out. I got Yildirim winning, and because in the context of what he was saying, he said, you know what? The mafia's in this, man. And I'm not saying that's pie in the sky stuff, because, and I'm not even gonna call it a conspiracy theory, because we know, historically speaking, mafia got their hands up in the business. I mean, they have had it in the business for years, historically speaking. Now, I don't really know, but like what Bruce said a moment ago, this whole Canahan, whatever the heck the dude's name is, I'm not saying he's alleged to be connected to that stuff. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. And before I left the live, before I cut the live off, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to watch the fight just for that reason.
I got to cut out for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine, bro. That was a perfect combination, right, LeVar, of his dog barking and the dog in the thumbnail there.
Yeah, no.
But,
I get what you're saying. Go ahead. Go ahead and cook, brother.
Yeah, that's the only reason. And at the end of the live, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to watch the fight just for that. Just for that, to really see. Because, I mean, if you go back a little bit earlier, when Canelo fought Kovalev, there were also theories. Right. I'm not saying I believed them or anything, but they have a point. I'm not discrediting, because these what can you say? These theories, or whatever you want to call them, they're coming from people who have legit platforms. You know what I'm saying? They got solid platforms. I'm not, they're not pie in the sky. They have their rep. They're reputable. You see what I'm saying? And that theory of, oh yeah, Kovalev took a dive, because DAZN offered him 2 more fights after, with lengthy, with good checks, were he to lose against Canelo. So he took the dive so he can take them 2 other fights in DAZN to have good checks. I mean, I get it. It's like, but at the same time, it's like, maybe it's true. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason. I'm just trying to explain. That's the only reason why I got interest in watching this fight, to see if that were to happen, just like what Bruce said. And then I can say, you know what? I saw that fight. I can look back years down the road and say, you know what? I actually saw that fight, and it's true. People, there were some swindling things going on. Go ahead, Laura.
No, I get what you're saying, but I just don't see a guy who's been inactive for 2 years coming back and beating Canelo. I just can't see it. And earlier when I talked about Floyd Mayweather took 2 years off to come back and dominate Marquez, when he dominated Marquez, where it was a unanimous decision. And I see that Chain with Ice, salute to you. Yes, Leonard and Hagler. Leonard did it with Hagler, but those scorecards were close. You're talking about 115 to 113, and some judges had Hagler winning, but I'm talking about taking 2 years off and strictly dominating their opponent. I just don't see Yildirim doing it. No.
Yeah, he's not. Stylistically speaking, that's what I was saying earlier. Like that's what I'm saying. Stylistically speaking, and forget resumes, forget what's on paper. Stylistically, just looking at these two fighters, dude, Yildirim's gonna get, Canelo's gonna mop the floor with this dude. I mean, that's just my humble opinion about it. I know anything can happen in boxing. Yes, I know one punch can change everything. Blah blah blah. Right? But dude, this is like.
and trust me, I've seen shockers before. Who thought that Vernon Forrest was going to lose to Mayorga the first time?
Right.
Yes. So things in boxing happens, but what people got to realize during that time, Mayorga and Forrest, they were active. Both fighters were active. I just don't see Yildirim take. I keep repeating myself, and I don't mean to, but I just don't see a guy that's been inactive coming back and beating Canelo. I just don't see it.
We got
okay. I'm back again.
Back. That's not fine. Back act. Blah blah blah. blah tongue twister. Big act. Back on the attack. Yeah,
boy,
we got Jab Jamboree's in the building.
Jab Jamboree.
Heck yeah. We also got Chain with Ice, man. Hey, what's going on, Chain with Ice? You guys are awesome jumping up in here, man.
I gotta say something. My dog was barking at the mailman. I just got my Punch Junkie magazine delivered.
Oh, cool. Oh, Punch Junkie. Go ahead and promo that, bro.
I'm looking at Adrian Broner on the cover. I haven't even opened it up yet. I just got it and tore it apart from it. Was packaged in this nice cardboard packaging, man. So it's not going to get wrecked. But I like the old hard copy version. I can put it in the bathroom and read it and bring it around the house. Old school. But anyway, man, thanks, Junior. I just got this mag. I've been looking forward to it. It took a week to get it, but man, it's here now. And I advise anybody who doesn't have it to get it.
In the future live, give us some feedback on the read.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this will be read cover to cover many times, I'm sure.
Heck yeah. Awesome, man. Heck yeah. Awesome. We got Sylvester in the building also, man. Thank you so much for jumping in. Families at the building. Man, we got Chain with Ice saying DP technically 2, but in 5 years he had 1 fight. Whoa. I mean, yes, to say, but that's the only intrigue, which is sad to say, right? It's a sad thing to say, but it's the only intrigue I have to watch this fight tonight because of the whole quote unquote theories that might happen. But I Canelo doesn't seem like that type of dude to do something like that. I think, he's the type of guy to go in and fight. Like what Laura was saying earlier, he's fighting for legacy. He wants to fight 4 freaking times this year, man. So this guy ain't playing. He's not, just look. Okay, watch. Right, wait. Okay. Just look at, like I said, I've seen interviews with him here in Mexico. His demeanor, this guy hardly even smiles. He's about, he has he's just a serious guy, dude. I wouldn't have, I'm just put it this way. If I saw him here, because I live in Mexico, you know what I'm saying? He probably one day, if I go, where he sometimes goes down here and trains or what have you, he has a gym down here also. It's where Oscar Valdez trained, about an hour and a half from where I live. And if I were to go one day and, do some media stuff or something, Lord willing, that's a plan I have in the future. Hopefully it happens. We'll see. But if I were to go, I wouldn't have the confidence really to walk up to Canelo, man, because I don't think he would, he just seems like that type of dude. Like he's not playing games. That's what I'm trying to get at here. A serious cat where if you tell him something, you say, hey, why are you telling me that? What's your purpose here? What's your intention? Why are you attacking me? He's that type of dude, believe me or not, because why? Because like I said, I've seen interviews on this dude and with Mexican reporters, with reporters, from down here. And he doesn't take no BS jive from anyone, man. He even on the streets, bro. If you go up to him and I wouldn't, okay, proof. Years ago, this guy punched a politician in the jaw, bro, broke it. I mean, that's how Canelo. Yeah, I mean, obviously, obviously,
Broner jacked some guy up in Vegas too and punched him. That's that. Yeah. Tyson punched somebody for rear-ending him in a car. So
yeah, there are some dudes that like Canelo's one of them, man. I'm not saying he's a bad reputation guy. No, I mean Canelo, he's a nice guy. He helps people, kids with cancer. Amazing, charitable acts. I mean, I love the guy. You know what I'm saying?
What disappoints me about Canelo is the opposition he's fighting now. The face of boxing should not be fighting some guy named Yildirim, who I have to look up every time I mention his name.
No, Bruce, I agree.
No, but look, real quick, let me just finish this. Watch. This is exactly why I think it's not going to be this is not a setup thing or theory or whatever we want to call it. It's not a plot. Like, I don't think he's going to go in there and try to lose, because he's not that type of, he's a serious guy. Canelo ain't joking around. He's a serious, that's what I'm saying. He's to the point that he's so like that, to the point that, you know, years ago, this, and obviously I don't think it was covered in, you know, United States tabloids or anything like that. It was down here covered though. I don't remember the context of it. Something happened in public where something, and some dude, some politic guy, and then, you know, he just, boom, he just socked him in the jaw and broke his jaw, man. So, you know, Canelo ain't playing games. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. That's my point, to back up what LeVar's saying, that I don't think this dude is, I don't think Canelo can be manipulated like that. He's going to go in and fight because, I mean, we can criticize him a lot, you know what I'm saying? And he has been criticized because it's true. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from those criticisms, because I've been one of them that's done it, because it's facts, just like what Bruce was saying right now, the opponents. I mean, but we got to understand that. Why do you think he has that phrase, no boxing, no life? He lives by that, bro. I mean, he breathes boxing. So that's what I'm saying. He's not going to go in there and lose to this guy.
No, I don't see it.
Go ahead, LeVar. What were you going to say?
I think here's the thing about Canelo. And like I said, he's a skillful fighter, you know. To me, Canelo, at least we got to give Canelo credit for this. He's active. We know who he's going to fight next. He already has opponents lined up. Yeah, it might not be the fighters that we want to see, but just like Kurt Anderson, and salute to the boxing historian, I truly believe that Canelo is not afraid of Charlo. He's not afraid of those guys. Do I think that he's going to fight them? I believe he will.
Oh, what did he say about that, LeVar? We were talking about that backstage. What did he say about Charlo or something like that? Or Charlo's going to come and watch the fight, right?
Oh yeah. So I was watching his IG yesterday, and he was on a plane saying that he was heading to the Canelo fight so that he can watch the fight. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if Charlo is just, you know, capping or whatnot, but hopefully he is. Hopefully he'll get in the ring and call out Canelo. We don't know.
But bro, check this out. He has to, because if he's sitting around capping, how much worse is he going to look with this whole Benavidez stuff? That, you see what I'm saying?
Right. And that's my thing. That's why I honestly feel like, and when it comes to Canelo and Jamal fighting, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm truly leaning towards Canelo, not only because Canelo has fought the better opponent, but Canelo's body attack is phenomenal. And if you look at Jamal's last fight, right, he got hit to the body, and what did he do?
I heard him. Yeah,
it hurt him. So you already know what Canelo's gonna do. He's gonna go to the body, and what happens when you go to the body? The head will follow.
The head will follow. Yep.
Absolutely. So I really truly believe that Canelo is not scared to fight these guys. You know, he's only one person. He can't. I mean, he can only fight so many times.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? So and I really think that we really got to look at the big picture here. You know, you got to give him credit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a Canelo fan, but when I watch him fight, it's crazy because he's the smaller man backing up the bigger man.
I enjoy watching him fight. And like you said, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a real like Canelo fan.
Right. And I'm not.
Even here in Mexico, bro. I mean, I know people down here. I talk to people. They even say, I mean, there was an old guy, an old timer, man, OG down here. He said, yeah, Canelo, he just fights those easy guys. That's all he does. I mean, people down here around town saying that stuff. I mean, you know, we know what it is, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when I watch him, I enjoy watching him fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and just like what Sylvester Soames saying right here, that's facts, bro. Canelo is number one now for a reason, right? A lot of people debate because he's doing what LeVar's saying. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, and just to corroborate what I was saying earlier, exactly, Soccer Training Club. Facts, Renee. That was settled under the table. Exactly, with the politician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that didn't really reach the United States tabloids because that would make him quite bad. So, yeah, Canelo, I mean, I reiterate, this guy ain't playing around, and I don't think he's going to come in and let Yildirim beat this dude because you know, Canelo on the streets, bro. And I reiterate what I was saying earlier. I wouldn't feel confident going and asking him those tough questions, bro, because he would he wouldn't take it lightly. I'll just put it that way. I'm not saying he would punch me or something, but I don't think he just wouldn't take it lightly, But yeah, so he's not going to let himself. He's not going to come in and fold to this Yildirim guy, So that's what I'm saying. I understand people saying, yeah, there might be an upset. I think there's going to be. I got Yildirim winning. That's fine, bro. That's cool that people think that. I got nothing against that, but I think Canelo's going to come in and just humiliate this guy, man.
Of course, especially for another belt. Of course, here's the thing, man. This is one thing you got to give Canelo credit for. He took some pages out of Mayweather's book and he's applying it. He is.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, Canelo, like I said, he's not worried about the money because he has money. He has his own promotional company. So at the end of the day, he's going to make money no matter what. And honestly, I really see later on down the road, I see Canelo pulling Ryan Garcia over there to his promotional company.
Yeah, that's most likely going to happen.
Absolutely. So he's going to make money. This is all about legacy. Legacy.
Yeah. That's why I think he that's what makes me nullify, I guess we can say, but it does intrigue me to a certain extent. And I guess I will watch the fight tonight. I'm really not excited about it, but I will watch it just for that factor. And I want to see how he takes out Yildirim. You know what I'm saying? What else? You got anything else to add, Bruce?
Yeah, well, to me, it's about opposition and who he's fighting right now. Of course. It just doesn't add up. This is the face of boxing. Even
good point.
Callum Smith, Rocky Fielding. This isn't what we want to see. I'm a boxing fan first, and I'm not going to pay to see Canelo fight these people who I've never heard of, who are brought in as opponents. I'm just disappointed in Canelo. Everybody that talks negatively about him, he should shut them up and prove them wrong. There's a plethora of talent out there, man, and Canelo is the golden ticket. There's so many options he has, and to me, fighting these no name fighters, it tarnishes his reputation. If he's fighting for legacy, he should shine. He should clean out the division, man. There's so many fighters out there. And time, it takes time to make a fight, train for a fight. You're lucky if you're fighting twice a year these days. So if these fights aren't made, then man, my whole image of Canelo as the face of boxing is totally tarnished, man.
And Bruce, I understand where you're coming from. Trust me, I do. But what is he supposed to do? How can he clean up a division if those guys don't want to fight him?
I'd have to hear that from myself. Didn't want to fight him. I mean, Charlo's going down to Florida. He's not going down there to catch a tan. That's for sure.
Right. And I hope that Charlo does call him out. And here's the thing: when Jamel and Jamal, when they were beefing with each other a couple months ago, Jamel was like, "Hey, Jamal, why don't you come out and tell everybody how you were afraid to fight Canelo?" And I was like, "Whoa!" I had to replay that.
Yeah, some things you wish you didn't say.
Exactly. So trust me, I want to see Canelo fight, clean out the divisions. I really do. But it's just, to me, I think the only one that will fight him right now is Benavidez. I really do. I really do feel like Benavidez will fight him. I honestly, truly believe that Canelo will run through Caleb Plant after what we saw with Truax.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know who's gonna want to fight Canelo.
For the paycheck that they're gonna get, I think there's a lot of these fighters who are dying to fight Canelo.
But I think Canelo's gonna have to throw a lot of money at these guys. Because think about it, we have Porter turning down $1 million to $2 million. So how much money do these guys need to be in order for each other to fight each other? That's where I'm lost.
That's another thing. I mean, that's another thing that we got to understand too, that I think it's been said, by Canelo and his team, with previous whatever possible potential opponents, that he said that, these guys are asking for the moon and the stars to fight me, like unfair purses, man. And we got to be realistic to that point too. That maybe one of the reasons why he's not fighting those guys that we want to see is because they're asking for too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is a business. Canelo commands the big bucks. I'm sure he's making millions to come, tonight to fight a no name. And that's the way it is in boxing. You have your name, you earned it, and he's the headliner. But it just doesn't excite me. I can't get excited with this fight. There's all these other intriguing little bylines that we're talking about. That's, it'll make me tune it in. But when it comes right down to it, I'd probably watch the fights on Fox, the Dirrell and the Davis fight.
Dirrell,
looks more competitive to me than the Canelo and Yildirim fight.
Do you have DAZN, Bruce?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you have DAZN. Oh, okay. Oh, well, you can watch it free.
Well, it's difficult because I can't watch. I have a real tough time watching two fights at the same time.
Yeah, of course.
You got these minds like Lawrence Williams who can watch five
fights at the same time. Yeah,
and he'll tell you every winner and the styles. I can't do that. I don't have that mind. I don't even know how these guys can do a show and read the chat at the same time, let alone drive and do that. This multitasking is I'm not at the head of the class when it comes to that.
Definitely, man. We got Be That Queen saying they also say don't drink the water. Boxing is shady. Yeah, it is, man. Your facts, man. DP Rock is saying that was crazy. DP Rock continues saying Kelly Pavlik beating Taylor. Oh, you got to go, Stock Train Club. It's all good, man. Catch you later, man. Be safe out there, family. Have a great weekend. You know what I'm saying? DP Rock says here, Renee, he's tired of the Charlo talk too. Yes, he is. Canelo coming out recently saying that also. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this dude. I'm telling you guys. I just said this earlier in my flash live. Canelo's getting tired. He's frustrated. He's tired of all the critics. He's tired of these guys chasing after him, asking for the moon and the stars. He's tired of all the people criticizing over it. I don't know, man. It's interesting to see what's going on with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel, I said it earlier in the flash live. I said, I kind of feel sorry for this guy, man. I kind of feel sorry for him. And like what Bruce is saying. Nobody's going to criticize him less because of this opponent. You know what I'm saying? This guy that he's going to fight tonight. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. You guys want to add anything else? Underrated Darkness in the building. Thanks so much for jumping in.
Hello,
Underrated Darkness. What's going on, family? What's going on? Good? Are you good, man? How you doing, boo? How you doing, dude? Facts, a lot of people ignored that. Right. So you guys are chatting away here. Canelo has to go to PBC. Yeah. And he ain't going to do that. So he ain't. No, but okay. Well, let me reiterate. Let me backtrack. He is going to go for Plant this year. I'm almost positive he is.
Yeah.
He's going to go for Plant.
But see, my thing about that, Renee, Canelo really doesn't have to. And once again, this all goes back to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, to get that fight with Manny Pacquiao, Floyd pretty much bypassed Bob Arum and then went straight to Pacquiao. Hey, let's make this fight happen. They met in a hotel. They were at a Lakers game, I believe.
And then they met. That fight was 8 years too late. That fight was 8 years too late. It should have been done.
It would have still been for me, Bruce. It would have still been the same outcome. Floyd would have still beat Manny.
Yeah, but Manny went in there after getting knocked out by Marquez too. He looked
that's
like
true.
Goods to a lot of people. That brought the value down because Manny
but then again, when you see Pacquiao fight his recent fights as of the age he's in right now, he's still boxing pretty good.
He is.
I don't take anything away from Manny Pacquiao. He's an all-time.
Yeah,
great.
of course.
He's an all. He can do whatever he wants to do now. He can fight a mixed martial artist. He can fight a YouTuber. He's earned that right. I don't have to watch it, and I don't have to consider it a boxing match. But that's his right, man. I'm looking at the active fighters. I'm looking at the guys who are fighting today. Modeling yourself after Floyd. That's all these guys are trying to do that, and none of them are going to do it, man.
Exactly.
You got to get back to the basics and the roots. You have to start picking opponents, cultivating these fights. I hate to use the word marinating them, but that's the way it is. You get them on a collision course. You fight at similar times. You fight similarly styled opponents, and you really can create a demand for that fight, like they're doing with Boots Ennis and Ortiz. That's going to be a spectacular fight if it happens, and I think that's going to happen. I have faith that we're going to see Bud Crawford and our boy
And Spence.
Yeah, and Spence for sure, man. If that fight doesn't happen, that's gonna put such a black eye on boxing. These super fights are what keeps us watching boxing. That's what keeps fans watching football, is to see who's going to make it to the Super Bowl. Baseball's the World Series. We have to have these super fights. If we don't get them, boxing is going to lose fans. And
Right.
with this Triller coming in here now, they're creating this whole different concept to try to resell the same product again, in a different in a whole different environment to different people, combining it with concerts and comedians. I mean, boxing is in for a big swing. It's going to be interesting to see how it lands.
And Renee, I don't mean
Go ahead.
here's my thing. And I had a conversation with the Underrated Darkness about this, and he brought up a very valid point. And salute to my brother, the Underrated Darkness.
Yeah, salute to my brother, the Underrated Darkness out there, man.
Salute, fam.
And Renee, and I mentioned this the last time we went live, but it was internet issues. It will be smart for Bud to go after that daggone WBA belt.
Oh, yes, for Ugas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He has 2. Spence has 2. Now you can ask for 50-50. But if Spence gets that third title,
Yeah, go ahead. But unfortunately, Bud is so hard-headed, he ain't gonna do that.
Right. So now, if Spence gets that third title, that 60-40's out the window. It's gone.
Then the pressure would really be on Spence if he's gonna take it or not. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. We trust me. I want to see them fight, but it seemed like Bud doesn't want it. He's like, I don't need Spence. Like I said earlier, about a week and a half ago, and sooner or later, he's gonna need Spence, and Spence is gonna need him. They're gonna have to fight for undisputed, man. I think it'll happen.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
In our lifetime, in your lifetime, and Renee, in your lifetime, how many fights that was really anticipated and really demanded did not come off? Man.
There was
several.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. At the same time, there are good fights still. You know what I'm saying? There have been great fights. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but you're right. You're right, Bruce.
Fights will be made if the demand is there. I mean, it's
exactly.
Of course. You put $10 million under each of these fighters' noses, and that's pretty close to what the purse is going to be. It's going to be in that range. Mm-hmm. How can they not fight each other?
Right.
It's like. Renee, you've been promoted to principal. You're going to make $300,000 a year. You report to work on Monday. You're going to say, let me think about this, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, you're right. And that's what you were saying earlier, Bruce, and that's why the whole world's talking about it. Well, not the whole world, but the boxing community, right? As far as Triller. Well, yeah. As far as Triller, I mean, if they throw that kind of money to these fighters and potential fights that we want to see, man, those boxers better flock to Triller. They better flock to that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what that they're going to pay the fighters off well, and we're going to see the fights that we want. So that's what Bruce was saying. It's in a possible interesting transition what Triller's doing, and this whole ingredient in this whole field of the sport of boxing, man. Let me get to the comments real quick because this is great stuff we're talking about. Pacquiao was still in his prime when that's what I was going to say, Sylvester. That's what I was trying to say earlier. That's what I was saying, Sylvester. How long ago did Pacquiao and Mayweather fight? How many years ago was this? 7?
I want to say, yeah.
That's like 7. I mean, Pacquiao was still, even though the world wanted to see Pacquiao and Mayweather years before that, but Pacquiao was still, he was still a really good fighter at that time.
Yeah, May 2nd, 2015.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 6 years ago. And the way Pacquiao's fighting now, he's still. I mean, everybody talks about, oh, Pacquiao did very well against Thurman. Of course he did, because and now when you go back to the Pacquiao Mayweather, I mean, Pacquiao was still really good at that time. You see what I'm saying? And look what Floyd did to him. Now, but I understand also at the same time, a lot of people say, that fight should have happened years ago, because it probably would have been more fireworks. I think that's the reason why. You see what I'm saying?
But there's a reason why. See, Floyd knew something. Floyd knew something when it came to Pacquiao, and I'd rather say backstage, but
oh, okay.
It's how can, let's put it like this: how can you be at a lower weight and move all the way up and still have power like that?
Right.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, a lot of people think that. Yeah.
But
if you go back,
he's on juice, man. Everybody says that.
A lot of people.
That doesn't have to be said behind closed doors.
A lot of people think that. Yeah,
a lot of people believe that.
Right. And if you go back, look at some of the weigh-in pictures of him fighting like Barrera or Morales. Go take a look. Go look for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, Manny also started off fighting at 100 pounds, as a junior flyweight. So he's naturally grown into a lot of what he is.
Yes,
he was a little boy when he was fighting. He was knocked out cold
like Canelo,
15 pounds.
Right, but bringing power up to 147 like that.
Yeah, it's a controversial topic.
They have strength and conditioning coaches these days. They have nutritionists. I was in the best shape of my life when I was in my 40s, believe it or not. Some bodies mature different than other bodies do.
And I agree.
Also, yeah.
Trust me,
Manny's an exception to the rule. He's not an old man at 40. And a lot of us kind of can sidestep that, but as far as boxing goes, you lose that split second in timing. It's just gonna make it interesting. I'd love to see him fight Errol Spence. That would be a fantastic fight. Is that gonna happen? Nah. Is he gonna fight Bud Crawford? I don't think so.
My thing is, Bruce, look how many times he knocked Chris Algieri down and still couldn't finish.
4 times, wasn't it?
I want to say it was more than that.
Right.
Well, Algieri was a pretty tough guy too. He was 100% boxing. He ran into somebody. It was just a little tougher than him.
Right.
Better style.
Me personally, I wouldn't. If I was Pacquiao, I would avoid Spence, and the reason why is because, like I said, in his last fight against Thurman, I didn't like his feet movement. I didn't like his footwork. How he just running in there like that. You can say that his skills has diminished a little bit. He would have to find a different way of fighting Earl. That's just me. Because
personally, Pacquiao is really an afterthought with these fights. He's
I would like to see it happen, but I just think that when you're talking about Earl, and I know, trust me, every fighter has an opportunity of losing, but Earl, the thing that intrigues me about Earl fights like a throwback fighter, like an old fighter. His style, all his weight on his back foot, so that by him having that weight on his back foot, he's able to move out of the way and duck and dodge some of those punches. His style is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, he's a great fighter. He's always impressed me. When he went to England and knocked out Cal Brooks, I didn't think he was going to win. I thought he was going to go there and come back a loser, but he didn't. Man, he destroyed Cal Brooks. He's got the belts. He's got the O. Bud's the same way. He's got a belt and he's got an O. And to me, it's getting so frustrated that this fight can't be made, and I'm really, really almost tired. Well, I am. I'm tired of talking about it. This fight has to be made, and there's so many other fights, man. Canelo's got to fight. Everything we're talking about the fights that should be made and could be made, but we want to see these fights. We want to see the ring walk. We want to see the contract signed, and that's what boxing's all about, man. We can speculate till the cows come home, but it's not going to do anything for boxing. We need to see fights made, and that's what I'm a fan of. That's what it's all about to me. I love talking about it, man. But all these fights that should be made, they frustrate me that they seem to be getting further apart than getting closer together.
And I'm with you, Bruce. Trust me, I'm ready to see that too. It's man, we need it. Hopefully pretty soon we'll get what we're asking for. And you're right. You and Renee are right. The only people that can make this happen is us, the fans, because we can demand it. We demand it, we'll get what we want. We got to voice our opinions about it. And that's why I'm glad that, salute to everybody in the LDBC that, they're voicing their opinions. They want to see it. They're pretty much putting pressure on these fighters. And that's what we need to see. And I'm ready, just like you, Bruce. Trust me. I'm in the same boat with you, brother.
Yeah, definitely. We all want that. And that's why I understand what Bruce says about, Canelo fighting this guy Yildirim. And that's a lot of the community saying the same thing. So, I mean, I'm not hating on it. Definitely, man. I agree. I definitely agree. Be That Queen says here, I wore gold and black that day and was Team Mayweather. Oh, I laughed watching Floyd get massaged while listening to music and chatting with people while Manny was in the gym. We got Jalen Thompson in the building. What's going on, Jalen? Thanks so much for jumping in, man. We also got Phil J. Bless up the chat. Definitely, man. Blessings to everybody, man. Definitely. He was jumping in. Phil J's in the building. What's going on, Phil J, man? I think that's for Hey, Underrated Darkness. I saw you shared this live session. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for that support, man. You guys support, what I'm saying? A lot of people think that when platforms or what have you say, oh, thanks for your support. It's not just the money. No, it's the sharing. It's the liking. It's the, tuning in. It's collaborating in the live sections, in the comment sections. It's all that, man. We're a family. There's support in all types of ways. And I really appreciate that. Underrated Darkness. Thanks so much for sharing the live session, bro. So yeah, man. So that's what it is. I mean, we'll see what happens tonight, when it comes to the fight. But like Bruce said, I'm not excited about it. I think the only interest I have is, if Yildirim will bring an upset, which I don't think is gonna happen. Okay. Be That Queen says y'all have great points. So do you guys, all you guys too in the chat. And yeah, in the chat section, man. That's why I love it when you guys chat away. A lot of people chatting here, making a lot of good stuff here, man. Opinions, and we go off of what you guys say too. We got here Eric R is in the building. What's going on, Eric R, man? Thanks so much for jumping in. Floyd looked at Manny.
Eric R, my brother.
Yeah, that's the thing. Floyd looked at Manny. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't blame Floyd. I don't blame Floyd, even though the whole world wanted to see him like 6 years before they even fought, when he fought Manny Pacquiao. I don't blame Floyd because Floyd, he just wanted to make sure. And I'm not saying Pacquiao was doing that. No, he just wanted to make sure and wanted everything clean. He wanted to make sure he was fighting. He wanted to make sure he was fighting a clean Pacquiao. So I mean, it is what it is. And I'm not saying that Pacquiao was dirty. No, I don't know, man. Only God knows those things. But and I don't blame Floyd. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not blaming. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. Go ahead, LeVar.
And Renee, there's an interview back in 2009 with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd said, "Look, I know y'all want to see me fight Manny." He said, "Man, there's 5 ways of beating Manny." Yeah. He said, "When the fight happens, it'll happen." He said that in 2009. I watched it. I watched the video. He said, when the fight happens, it'll happen. But I'm telling you right now, there's 5 different ways of beating Manny Pacquiao. And look what happened.
Yep. Artman Boxing is in the building, man. Y'all go check out his Artman Boxing. Hey, send me your email, bro. Just send me an email. You see my email down there on the banner? Yeah, so Artman Boxing has some pretty cool art, man. That guy does like digital art. I don't know if you guys seen it. Man.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, he has talent. He does hoodies, sweaters. Yeah, bro. Check him out. Check Artman Boxing, man. I do got some talent, man. He I don't know what it is. I'm not up to this era with stuff, but he does like digital drawing and he puts it on hoodies and sweaters and stuff like that. And Yeah, man, he has a little business there. So y'all go check him out. Artman Boxing. Okay. Yeah, you can check it out on my Instagram too. Check him out on Instagram. And yeah. So cool stuff right there, man. So we got Eric R in here. You're saying real rap. Shane Mosley called Floyd after his fight and told him to make sure he take Olympic testing. Right?
Max.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it's very true. I mean, Floyd was very keen, Keen, on clean fighters. Definitely, man. It's facts. After he fought Manny Hunt, it was still just continue to say here. I believe Pac loses to both Errol Spence and Terrence. It doesn't who he chooses same out. Doesn't matter who he chooses, same outcome, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I kind of think that right now Pacquiao, obviously he's not the same Pacquiao anymore, but he still obviously has skills. But I do think that skill wise, Bud Crawford or Spence, they'll retire him. I think, I think they will. Eric R says here, Errol also commits heavily to the body. A lost art. Yeah, very true. Facts right there, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't mean to cut you off, but it's like what I said before. What makes a big difference to Errol Spence is when he has Blu-ray in his camp. Those last 3 fights, Blu-ray wasn't in his camp.
Yeah,
now that he has exactly his strength and conditioning coach, because you gotta understand when Blu-ray is in his camp, right? Errol Spence is stopping people. He gets stronger as the fight goes. So now that Blu-ray is back in his camp, man, I cannot wait to see Spence's next fight because we're gonna see a difference.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff, man. We got Eric R here also saying Canelo's going to be forced to make fights happen. He has to. You know what I'm saying? Because of Errol's numbers and soon Jermell. Yeah. I mean, that's true, man. And Benavidez is there too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily too much with Benavidez with numbers, but as far as skills and as far as possible competition that he can bring against Canelo, the community is going to be outroaring. They're going to be uproaring about these things. You know what I'm saying? They're already doing it now. And like I said, Canelo, he's frustrated, man. You can just see it in the interviews these days, man. He's just with this week. I'm speaking about this week, particularly speaking, fight week. He's been interviewed on platforms in Spanish, man. He's tired. He's tired of the critics, man. He's like, my God, I don't want to hear this. He said, you guys are telling me, I don't know why you guys are telling me so much to fight Triple G. He's already out of it. I don't want to fight him. I got 24 rounds with him. If I do fight this guy and if I knock him out, I don't want to hear from you guys. No, dude, he was going off. Canelo was going off, man. So, and it's going to keep, the community is going to keep uproaring until he fights the guys that the community, generally speaking, wants to see. And I think he will. I think he will this year. I think he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to trash Canelo. I mean, I think this fight, of course, I can care less about it. But after this, I think he's going to go out for those names, man. I mean, he already has that plan. Mm-hmm. He wants to go to BJS. He wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders. He wants to fight Caleb Plant. And a possible 4th fight this year, we'll see who it is. Hopefully it will be a Benavidez. Hopefully it will be a Charlo. And what LeVar told us earlier that, Charlo's talking about, he's talking the talk that he wants to go to the fight of Canelo. Oh, bro. And that's another intriguing aspect that makes me want to watch the fight more, LeVar and Bruce.
Hey, I hope he goes. I hope he goes. I hope he goes into the ring and calls out Canelo. And we'll see what happens.
Well, see, that's the thing about boxing. We've always had the next great fight to look up to anticipate. And right now, there's really nothing out there for us to anticipate. And the way boxing sells itself is to promote a fight, gain an interest, and produce a great fight, and have another one ready to go, and that's being promoted with that fight. I mean, they can take that from UFC or from wrestling. They're always talking about what's coming up next, and that's how you keep interest in the sport. Between after this fight, well, there's really not a lot of interest in this fight to speak of, but when this fight's over, what are we looking forward to next? What's the next big fight that's on the horizon? And that's what boxing has to do. These fighters have to get active. They have to sign these fights. Mm-hmm. The demand is out there. I mean, we're all over the internet. We're craving for these big fights. We're going to pay money for these big fights. All they have to do is get somebody with enough ingenuity and get these fighters to, get their guts on, get their guts up there, take their panties off, sign these fights, and make a legacy for yourself, while at the same time make a bank account and entertain the world. And this is what boxing's all about. It was the biggest. It's always been one of the biggest sports of all time. It always elapsed other sports. The heavyweight champion of the world was the baddest man on the planet. It's been like that since Jack Johnson. It's just not there anymore. We don't even. You go up to most people and they couldn't even tell you who the heavyweight champ is anymore. And boxing has to get itself in order. It's got to take action, and it's got to start pleasing the fans and bringing it out into the forefront again, where it's in the sports page, blasted on billboards, wherever the advertising takes it. But we have to create a spark for it where everybody out there is talking about boxing. That's the way it used to be, man. We see great fights, and but what's going to happen in a couple of weeks, and it went on like that. It was a never-ending ride, and now we're not even getting these great fights, and when we do, it's that they're a year in between, and a lot of fans, they'll go to mixed martial arts, they'll go to other sports. But a true boxing fan is just craving the next fight. That's what we do. We live for boxing, man. I love being up here because that's what we can do it online. We do it whenever we see that red bell up there. But I want to see the real McCoy like in the old days. And now they're getting on these new platforms like Triller. They're bringing these fighters out of the graveyard. Basically, what was the biggest pay-per-view? Was Tyson and Roy Jones. I mean, come on. That's not boxing.
Yeah, of course. And the thing here is that also, I don't just blame like that. Also, I blame to a certain extent, maybe the networks, the promoters. There's a lopsided interest because we just saw an amazing fight with Burchell and Valdez. We're in the works of watching McCaskill Breakus rematch. Also, Chocolatito and Estrada rematch last year towards the end of the year. We saw great fights. You see, it's the lopsided. Josh Taylor Ramirez is about to fight too. I mean, there's great fights out there. But the problem is that exactly. It's the lopsided interest from these freaking promoters that aren't appropriately promoting these fights. These are the fights that need the limelight just as much as this Canelo fight, that's this lame fight that we don't want to see, that we can care less about, or the similar limelight that Canelo's getting, the similar limelight that to a certain extent that Spence is getting, what these other fighters are getting. Put that limelight also on these other great fights that are going, up and coming. And it's a lopsided interest by these promoters, man. Definitely. We got here Eric R saying Canelo is going to be forced to. We saw that, right? And Sylvester says here we got to see the fight. Yeah, definitely. DP Rocka, definitely, man. You guys are awesome to chat here. We got here. Chris Reyna. What's good, bro? Chris Reyna. Check your email, bro. Check your email if you can. I think I sent some, bro. Check it out. We got DP Rocka saying, is it Crawford fault? I don't know, bro. That's.
Hey, Renee.
I don't even know who the heck's fault it is now. I lean towards. I'm sorry, LeVar, in a moment. I lean towards it's more Crawford's fault, bro, because we can go back. I mean, we can go back and just look and balance it out. Who has said what? Who deserves, as far as the 60-40 deal, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is, DP Rocka. I personally think I lean towards more Crawford's fault, but it can be both of their fault, but more I think it's Crawford's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead.
In other words, Renee, it's 60-40 Crawford's fault.
Right. There you go.
Bruce.
Oh no, wait. You said 60.
Forgive me.
Come on, man. I'm sitting here. Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's a thing. What were you gonna say, Laura?
So to piggyback off of what Bruce said about boxing fans gravitating over to the UFC, and like I said, I'm a diehard boxing fan. But Renee, when you get a chance, go on your phone and look up UFC 259 and tell me who's the main event and the co-event.
Okay.
And Bruce, you're 100% right, man, about We just need to see the best fight, the best out here. You know, we deserve it, and I hope that these companies, the organizations, the promoters, they can see. This is what it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. It's too many people that got their hand into the cookie jar to make these fights happen. You know.
Well, now we get that one more, that Triller, and I'm
Right.
I'm looking for big things from them. You know, this could be a whole new way of featuring fights, because they're putting out a big event. They're paying a lot of money to the athletes and the performers, and this is what could draw a huge fight.
Audience.
It could draw a heavyweight fight, a championship fight, because what they're doing is they're bringing in people who want to be entertained by rappers. They want to be entertained by YouTube fighters, and it really doesn't matter, because all the dollars are green, and the more they bring in, the better. And plus, they're going to be introduced to fighters. With this money, you don't just have to have Gambosa and Lopez. You'd have the money and the backers to put on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and the demand would be there, and the pop would be there. There'd be such a vast array of fans who wanted to see that fight as part of this huge card that could have a concert there. It could have, who knows what they could do. It's only limited by the imagination. But this is what they really have to do to create the spark in boxing again. Because, you know, most of these fans that are sitting at home, they're not watching boxing. And like I said, they don't know who the heavyweight champion is. They don't know about this clash at lightweights with the four kings. This is all stuff that we know about because we're on here and we care about it. But these fighters themselves, they have to be sold to the general public. Hardcore boxing fans don't make a pay-per-view. That's why they're bringing in all these other events there, and this is what creates the spark and the interest and the money, and that's where we can get the great fights to happen, because it doesn't seem like they're happening anymore. There's too much. I don't want to use the word, you know, but there's too much BS going on both ends. If Crawford and Spence doesn't happen, I don't put the blame. I put the blame on us for not demanding that fight not happening and not getting it made. You know, those guys want to fight. I'm sure they do. Neither one of them they're fighters, man. There's not a cowardly bone in their body. This fight just has to be made, and if it's not made, we're the ones who should be blamed for it. We got the platform to demand this fight. We should be screaming for this fight to be made, because both of them are in their 30s, and how much longer this is going to be an attraction is anybody's guess. But if it's not made, man, it's going to turn a lot of people off to boxing. I hope I'm not one of them, but man, I get frustrated when super fights aren't made, because I've lived my whole life seeing these great fights that were made. They might have taken a year to be made, but the fighters fought other fighters, and when they beat them, and I can't wait to get in here. But anyway, it was always a great fight out there, and if it wasn't a great fight out there, it was being made, and that's what boxers did. You know, they're not lawyers, they're not negotiators, they're fighters. These fights should be made, and that's just the way I feel about it. That's the bottom line to me.
So, hey, Renee, did you see who's fighting on UFC 259?
Yeah, I can't pronounce their freaking names. I don't even. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Blachowicz versus Adesanya.
Israel.
Is that?
That's how you. Yeah, him. Okay. And then who's the co-main? Who's the co-main?
I can't.
It's Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, Amanda. Oh, Nunes. Oh, I know her.
Right.
Okay.
Do you see what Dana White is doing here?
Yeah, of course.
He's not playing around.
Nope.
He's not. And this is March the 6th.
Man, and I mean, and that I like what Bruce is saying. It can be that Triller's going to do this. You know, they're going to bring more of the fights that we want. I'm not saying that there are no fights we want. I'm not saying that, because there are lots of fights. I just mentioned 4 or 5 of them right now earlier. I mean, there are fights that I like. I'm enjoying the sport. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there are several fights out there we haven't seen that we're clamoring for, and I think Triller can bring that. Triller can bring that.
Right.
But we'll see, man. Definitely, man. Hey, I got a shout out who's jumping in the building right now, man. But we got people jumping up in here. Love Lines, how's it going, Queen? Love Lines from the Philippines, man. How's it going, Queen? Thanks so much. Yeah, thanks so much for jumping in, man. Thanks so much. And we also got Sheena in the building. Hey, Sheena, how you doing? It's great to see you here. So thank you guys so much for jumping.
Queens.
Yeah, man. Queen's in the building, man. Thank you guys so much for jumping up in here, man. So definitely. So we got here Eric R saying, you guys are chatting away. Awesome stuff. I have said since Tyson versus Jones Triller that Devin Haney should have spearheaded that wave and take advantage of what Jake Paul doing. Teofimo beat him to the punch. Watch what he becomes. Ooh. And that's kind of what I want to talk about now, too. Also part of this live. This whole thing with Teofimo and Triller, man. I mean, right now, you know, Teofimo going to fight. The limelight, you know, the money, just the purse alone that he's getting to fight Kambosos. Wow. So hopefully these other fighters catch on to this and hopefully Triller, you know, reaches out with the money bag, you know what I'm saying, and gets fights that we want to see. It's a big possibility. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an investment. Triller's not going to throw away millions and millions and millions of dollars to see lame matchups and have that. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly what Bruce is saying. They want to bring entertainment. They want to pull in more people. And those people who don't know much about the sport of boxing and they see an amazing boxing matchup in a Triller event, they're going to catch on to boxing more. You see what I'm saying?
I do. But
yeah. You know how many more boxing fans we gained with that knockout of Jake
Paul. Yeah,
exactly. You know, people who just tuned in to see his pretty face, they were told by Sugar Ray Leonard that he's the real deal. You know, whether he is or not, man, that could be a big sales job. But yeah, that's how these boxers need exposure. You know, they have to be created. You know, they need the aura. Okay, Underrated Darkness disagrees.
It's all good. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
But the thing is, man, we can't get inside these guys' heads, so we don't know. You know, I think Terrence Crawford, he lives up there in Nebraska, and they say people up there think a little differently. So he's a laid back guy.
Yeah, they act a little differently too. Yeah. Definitely.
So the Underrated Darkness, man, he's a good guy. But I can tell you right now, he doesn't like Crawford. He has a nickname for the fighters he doesn't like. He calls Crawford TC. He doesn't like Tio, and I can't say what he calls Tio on this show.
Okay.
And he cannot stand Canelo.
Oh my gosh.
He calls him C. So Underrated Dark. He's a good guy, but he's hard. He's hard on those three, man.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We got Sheena here. Thanks,
brother, man. We can disagree.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. It's all good. It's all good, man. So we got here Eric R saying, thanks so much again, Queen Sheena, for jumping in here. Thanks so much, Love Lines, for jumping in. Also, we got here Eric R saying, for to get the money, Teofimo is going to grab the Ryan Garcia social media popularity. He probably is, man. He probably is. So, I mean, I think it's a good thing. This whole thing with Teofimo and Triller, it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? I mean, great for him. Congratulations to him. But we'll see what's going to happen in the future with Teofimo in under Top Rank. I don't think it's going to be a clash. It's going to be a big car crash collision between him and Bob Arum after this fight with Kambosos. Because what like I was saying earlier, what is Teofimo going to expect from now on as far as purses? He's not going to accept no measly. I'm speaking in the terms of, you know, the context of fighters, what they deserve of more, right? So a measly $2 million after this fight with Bob Arum, because that's what Bob Arum is going to throw at. That's what he's going to throw at Teo. For crying out loud, look how much he throws at Bud. What, $3 million a fight? 3.5? Bud deserves a lot more than that with his accomplishments.
He threw what, 2.3 million, and the zone threw
three something, right?
Three something, and then Triller comes out with over 6 million.
Yep.
And was that a wise business decision? I think that was a speculation to see what they're going to do with boxes now, because this is an experiment, man. It's unfolding before our eyes, and it's going to be very interesting.
And the thing is here, not to cut off, but the thing is here, when he gets back, when Teo, after he smashes Kambosos, which I think he's going to do. I mean, Kambosos can fight, but he's not the best in defense. Sorry, but whatever the outcome is, okay, I'm sure Tio is going to win, but he comes back to Bob. Tio is going to say to Bob, you know what? I'm not going to accept less than 5 or 6 million for my next fight. And if it's a tough competitor, I'm going to want 7 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Tio's already said, his father said he's not going back to Bob. I mean, he signed a 3-year contract. So,
okay, that's another thing I want to talk about. How much? Well, they better watch out what they're saying so much in social media, because how much are they going to have to pay up to buy out that contract? There's 3 more years. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
You see, it's a 3 more year. It's not like Bud's situation. He's almost out of here in October. At a Top Rank, I'm sorry, unless he signs again. But I'm sure he would have to pay less to sign out, to buy out of the contract, Bud, to get out of Bob's presence, than Tio. So Tio has 3 more years at least at Top Rank. How much is he going to have to pay? You know, Bob, he's going to take advantage of that. He's going to say, hey, you got 3 more years for it, man. You better pay up. You better pay up 10 million, son, or something. And you see, these guys, man, Tio and his dad, I think they're talking a little bit too much in front of the cameras. They got to hush and think about what they're going to do when they come back. You know what I'm saying? If they come back, because if they don't come back, Bob's a lawyer. He knows what the heck he's doing. He has the right people. What did he say? What did he say recently? What did Bob say recently about Tyson Fury and this whole thing and this whole controversy between him and Wilder? What did Bob say? He says, I got the best lawyer. He says, I got one of the best lawyers in the country. And they looked over the contract with Wilder and Fury. The contract's off. Tyson Fury, the way it's worded, the contract is worded. My lawyer looked it over. And obviously Bob's a lawyer, so that's 2 lawyers. 2 lawyers looked it over. And the way it's worded, Fury is not under obligation to have a trilogy with Wilder. He's free from the contract. So we very well know that, Bob, you're dealing with the best in the business as far as law, and lawyers, you know what I'm saying, and stipulations of contracts. He's going to throw the book at Tio, man. He's going to throw the book at him. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Renee, I'm going to 2 things real quick. One, I'm still not sold on Tio. He still has a lot of unanswered questions for me.
Of course.
I get it. I got it. He beat Comey. He knocked him out. Well, we all know Comey is susceptible to right hands. So we know that. So that was a win for him. Loma, he beat Loma, but Loma showed us that Tio can't fight off of his back foot. 2, you really think Bob Arum is going to let Tio go when Bob Arum gets 20%? Shout out to Ricky Williams that was talking about this last night. Tio's not going nowhere. Bob Arum is going to hold him accountable. Bob Arum will probably sue him for breach of contract.
Exactly.
That's 20% that he gets from Tio. There's no way. No way.
I'm saying it's going to be a crash course, man, for Tio. They better stop running their mouths off so much, because I mean, the way him and his dad are speaking right now, no, you lost your best fighter, and if it's true that they're not going to come back to Bob, they better get their paperwork ready, because Bob is going to come with the fury. So you see what I'm saying? He's going to come with the vengeance, man. So I mean, I don't know, man. It doesn't look good for Tio, in my humble opinion. Everybody's, it's great that congratulations to Tio for the Triller deal. I think that's awesome. Purse bid, Bob permitted it. That's fine. But what's the ramifications of this, man? It doesn't look good. I don't know.
You listen, it's like what I've been saying, and we all been saying. Excuse me. These guys, these fighters want a Floyd Mayweather payday, but they don't want to do anything to earn it by fighting the elite fighters. You can't do that. Why are y'all asking for all this money when there's other fighters out there that you need to fight? This is what I don't understand about Tio. There's nothing that Tio can tell me that can convince me that he's the undisputed champ when you have Devin Haney as the WBC. It's like what Blue said. I don't care what Suleiman sends you signed that's saying that you're the WBC. You're not until you fight Devin Haney. Who has he fought in order for him to receive a massive payday? I'll wait.
No, you're 100% right. And you've got somebody who's claims they're the undisputed lightweight champion of the world with 16 fights under their belt and one named fighter on their gun. It to me that's somebody who's trying to sell themselves for more than they're worth. I don't blame anybody for that. And if you can get it, fine. But to me, Tio Lopez has got to go prove himself.
He has to.
We've got these 4 guys who are claiming that they have they're champions in the lightweight division, or three anyway. And then we got King Ryan, who claims he's the best out of all four of them. I mean, you got a prime opportunity to create a fantastic lightweight tournament in here. Two fighters fighting each other, and the winners fight each other. Man, that would sell like crazy. That would be for the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, and nobody could say it. Nobody would have a claim in there by making this little tournament with four fighters. It would be huge. They'd all make millions. The fans wouldn't complain a bit about it. But is it going to happen? Nah. You think it is, man? I don't see it happening.
Too much soap opera stuff.
People have Lopez on a pedestal.
Right, and we got it's fine. And what Eric Garr is saying, it's facts. Bob is going to be bent exactly on making an example out of Teal. Yep. The fake over better be ready for an all-out war. That's facts, man. Unless someone comes to the rescue and buys it out for him, buys out the contract like Triller, throw out another $10 million for Teal. I doubt it to help him out. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? So
Bob's been in this business for a long time. He's dealt with this
exactly. He knows what to do. He knows what to do.
And to be honest with you, T.O. is marketable. He is. It's like what Blue Blood says. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV. You know, he gets in there, he does backflips, he does the Heisman pose and all of this. He's marketable, which is fine. But you got to be willing to fight the best that's out there. I can tell you right now, he better stay away from Tank. He better stay away from Tank. And you know they're going to keep him away from Tank. If he tries to fight Tank, it's gonna be a rough fight for him, especially when Tank starts coming forward. So at the end of the day, T.O. needs to chill out. He needs Renee, is like what we talked about. And Bruce, you got to be humble because somebody's gonna serve you a piece of humble pie. So he needs to be humble and appreciative of what he has. Because like I keep saying, to me, it's harder to defend a belt instead of getting it.
See, I'm looking at it a different way.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it where he's got a belt. He can be as humble as he wants to, but he has to defend that belt against the best challenges available. He's got three of the hottest dogs in the lightweight division in the last 5 years nipping at his heels. If he avoids any of these guys, he's going to be a ducker. I mean, there's no. You claim you're the undisputed lightweight champion. They just gave you this WBC manufactured belt, and Devin Haney says, "No, I'm the champion." And Tank says, "I'm the champion. I got the belt from the man who beat the man." And they all have a good argument, but they all have to. There's only one way to settle it, man. Just like we used to do when we were kids. There's only one way to settle this, man. In the backyard.
Exactly. Because somebody explained this to me. What is the purpose of the franchise belt?
It's a stupid belt, man.
Well, see, I saw Suleiman when he was talking about that. He said that belt was created as an award to the boxer in that division who's done the most for the division, and it wasn't created to be won in the ring. It was created to be presented
like an honor thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and now he's crossed himself over, and
he himself is confused and doesn't even know how to explain it.
Exactly.
Well, see, I don't think he has as much power as people think he does. You know, I think he has a board that's there at the WBC. They're chairman of the boards and everything else. And Mauricio, he was groomed since he was 12 years old. His father was a president of the WBC since 1975, Jose Suleiman. And Jose Suleiman and Don King, they go way back to shady dealings in boxing. His son took over now, and Mauricio is just doing what he's been groomed to do. You know, it's a multi-million-dollar corporation, the WBC, and he's the figurehead. So he says what he's told to say. He'll say one thing one day and another thing the other day, and he'll say it with a smile on his face, like he's speaking to the judge in court. But that's the way that these corporations, the WBC, the WBA, that's the way they're run. And I personally try to ignore them. I know who the best fighter is in the division. I know who the second best, the third best, and that's who I call the champion. And these are who I call the contenders. And I can read the top 10 every month in the WBA, the WBC, all of them. And half of these guys in there, I have no idea. I can't even pronounce their name. Never mind tell you who they've been fighting, how they got into the top 10. So I personally try to ignore it. It's not going to go away, but I contain myself to looking at the fighters and who they're going to fight next. It's irrelevant of what belts they hold. I'm from that old school, man. I just want to see the best fight the best, and we can make that happen. We have to make that happen. And that lightweight division is so prime right now, man.
The question here, though, yeah, definitely. The question here, though, is that I'm not knocking Tio with the Kambosos fight. I'm not. I mean, it's mandatory. I get it. I'm not one of those guys that say, "Oh, you're not fighting anybody." And I mean, no, because he just fought. Like I'm saying, Comey, he fought Loma. I've said it time and time again. I mean, I respect him for that. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Even the legendary fighters, you know what I'm saying, had their little tune-up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking Tio for it. I mean, I get it. But the question is, what is he gonna do after? That's what I'm more interested in as far as with Teofimo. Who's he going to fight after Kambosos? It has to be these names, like what Bruce is saying. It has to be one of these guys. Don't be running around the bush. Don't be, you know what I'm saying that you're the best out there, undisputed, and you get down there and fight those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. And the test is going to be on him. And now he has more pressure. On him because of what we're talking about right now with Bob. And just like what Eric R said a moment ago, I just had his comment highlighted right there, like what we said earlier, right there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, exactly. He better be ready. And yes, Tio's kind of going overboard right now, and I get it. But and like what Eric R saying here, Bob is gonna shine him up and feed him to Shakur, possibly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really focused now. Now he has added pressure on him. This whole thing about him going back to Bob, Triller buying the purse. What's he going to do next? You know what I'm saying? And what opponent is he going to fight? So I don't know, man. The pressure's is going to be on Teofimo after this Kambosos fight, man. We got here real salute. Thanks for jumping in. I haven't seen you before, but he said Devin needs to fight a name, bro. I mean, but he's a champ, though. I mean, you can't take anything away from that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a champ. And I personally think it's politics that have prohibited Devin Haney from fighting these guys up there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they want to fight Devin Haney because they know he's a threat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Haney is untouchable and stuff like that. Like no one can beat him. Of course not. But he skill wise, he has, he's a threat. He's definitely a threat, man. So, I mean, I would love, that's what everybody wants to see. Teofimo versus Haney. They want to see Teofimo versus Tank. We want to see, just like what Bruce is saying right now. You know what I'm saying? Eric R says here, then Bob is going to make Shakur his new bud. Oh, you know what, Eric? I was going to put, I needed to do that. I was planning on doing it weeks ago about that. I want to focus on Shakur in a video that it looks like he's going to be the new bud, bro. You're thinking the same I've been thinking. This is like watching Monday Night Raw in the 90s. I can predict everything except the commercials. It looks like that, bro. Shakur better get his mind right as far as what is he going to do with Bob? Is he going to stick with this guy? I'm not saying Shakur's mind ain't right, no, but Bob. These guys under Top Rank better watch this guy, man. Watch out for Bob, man. Really watch out what they're doing under this guy, man. I told my son Tank, Shakur is all wrong for Teofimo. Yeah, he got a better shot now with Haney, but if he keeps dragging his feet, he will get passed up. Man. Y'all okay with Haney fighting Linares? I mean, I think that's the only option he has right now. That's the thing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that's the only option he has. Who else is he going to fight? Nobody wants to fight him. I mean, did you see? That's what's the thing. It's saying, okay, fine. What did Ryan Garcia just came out recently said he ain't going to fight Haney? If I'm not mistaken, he just came out and said that, man. Ryan Garcia says, I'm not going to fight Haney. Haney got to fight someone. What? I'm telling you, man. These fighters sometimes, man, it's like, then what do you expect Haney to do? You know what I'm saying? Haney and his team, his dad, they've been pushing for these fights. Practically begging for these guys to fight him, but they don't want to fight Haney. They don't want to fight him. So what do you expect? See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Real. I'm not saying I'm not totally disagreeing with what you say. Real. I feel you with the names, but no one wants to fight this guy, man. Sometimes we got to understand. Look at Gary Russell. Look at Rigondeaux. Look at there's Jerome Ennis. I just recently came out and said, his coach. his coach just came out and said recently in an interview, I made a video on that 15 welterweights, top 15 welterweights denied fighting Ennis. It's a fact, ladies and gentlemen, that there are fighters that don't want to fight certain fighters that are threats. It's a fact. We cannot deny that. And I think that's the same situation that Devin Haney, unfortunately, is in right now. A lot of these fighters don't want to.
We settle for that. That's the problem. If we didn't settle for those fights, they wouldn't happen. If we as boxing fans got together and just let it be known, well, we're not buying this garbage.
Well, we are, and on all platforms have been doing it for years, man. But I understand what you're saying, Bruce, but it's going to take time, and who knows what the heck's going to make it to change all this. Hopefully Triller is like we're talking about. Yeah, LeVar, go ahead.
Hey, so here's the thing to answer Rural's question. Bob Arum has already came out and said that that Haney is not going to be fighting Teo, and that Haney's going to have to wait his turn. Bob Arum was on Barbershop Conversations.
Exactly.
Right. A couple weeks ago. And he came out and said that even Bill Haney, Fred from Barbershop Conversations, he sent the link to Bill Haney. Bill Haney got on there and said, hey, Bob, why can't we make the fight happen? And
Bob I remember that.
Yeah, Bob Arum just came out and said, Devin Haney's going to have to wait. So Devin Haney, he wants to fight, but it's hard for him to get the fights because people are avoiding him.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, we got Avery Jackson. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for jumping in. We got here. Salute. Blue Blood sent me over to check out channel. Hey, that's awesome. Awesome stuff, man. Salute to Avery Jackson. Thanks so much, man. Shouts out to our guy, Blue Blood. Yeah, he shows tremendous love. You know what I'm saying? Tremendous love. Blue Blood's awesome, man. He's the real one. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man. We got here Real saying here. Thanks so much, Avery Jackson, so much for jumping in, man. We got here at Real saying he's definitely avoided. Yeah, but he needs a big name. We all know that. I mean, yeah, he needs a big name, but what happens if these big names don't want to fight him? I mean, what do? You know what I'm saying? It's like over and over the same thing.
You call them out till they do. You pull a Muhammad Ali. You
also, hey, good point. Good
drive
point.
Up to their door with a bullhorn.
Chase them down. No, but Bruce, right now we're in a generation that if you go up to their house, they're going to call the cops on you, bro. You're going to jail. You're going to jail for trespassing.
You're not going you do it from the road. You get publicity.
I got you. Yeah. Of course.
Believe me, these guys can afford to be bailed out and pay fines.
You're right.
It's true.
I mean,
good point.
Look at what Tyrell Biggs was chasing around Klitschko, not more than a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Going to where he had dinner, going to the beach where he's on his honeymoon. These guys have to be characters, man. They have to be larger than life and create that larger than life persona where we demand to see. We want to see these guys fight. That's like seeing Hercules and Superman fight. These should be the heroes. The top. I don't want to say heroes, but these should be the top athletes of the world. Boxers are the best, man. Every weight division. There should be one undisputed champion, and that's in a perfect world, and that's the world that I want to live in, man. These guys have to create more excitement because boxing is getting very, very dull, very sleepy. The only ones who really talk about it are us. Like I was saying before, man, I go outside and nobody can tell me who the heavyweight champion is. Never mind the middleweight champion or the lighter weight divisions. Boxing has got to save itself before it consumes itself. It is got to create the spark. It needs some new life in there, and I hope this Triller does it, man. I hope they can get an interest amongst the general public to bring boxing back to the forefront. Because if these guys aren't popular, they're not going to make any money. They're not going to fight each other, and that's the bottom line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, man. Go ahead, LeVar.
I agree with them. I mean, it's like what I said, it's too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. So the sport of boxing needs to be cleaned up so that we can see these fights. And I agree with Bruce, it should be some of these belts, the belts that don't make sense, they need to be thrown in the trash. And they just need to start fighting each other. And hopefully, if this new company can do that, Bruce, it'll be great. Maybe it will cause the other promotional companies to step up.
Exactly.
But these fighters, they got to stop being picky when it comes to the money. And I get it. They got to pay their trainers and everybody that's in camp with them. I understand that. but you got to work your way up to the big money. That's what Floyd did. And I'm not comparing them to him, but he's giving them the blue book on how to be successful. These guys are really not going to be successful until they're off on their own. I can tell you, you don't. Are y'all telling me that T.O. doesn't have the money to buy out his contract from Bob? Guarantee he does. Mm-hmm. Guarantee he does. But he just,
I don't know.
But Bob is going to ask for a lot.
Of course.
He's going to probably, yeah.
And he asked for a lot for Floyd, but Floyd was willing to pay that.
That's true. Yeah.
He was willing to pay that, and now look.
Good point.
So at the end of the day, it seems like you're going to have to be your own boss. Yeah, and right now, look at Canelo. He's going to be his own boss.
Is Teofimo Lopez going to be another Floyd though? Is he that good? Is he going to be that popular?
It's not proven yet. But
it's not proven yet, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that he's not going to be, because like I said, he's marketable because of the things that he does in the ring. But in order for him to do that, Bruce, he's gonna have to fight the top level competition.
And he should be screaming their names every time the microphone's put in front of him.
Yeah, that's true.
I want Tank Davis. I want
He's not.
Ryan Garcia. I'll knock that crown right off your head. That's what people will talk about. And he's the fool for not doing it, man. I wish I could get a hold of these guys and tell them how this old school, you have to sell yourself. I mean, it's a promotion. You got to be a little bit of an actor. You've got to be a lot of an athlete, but you have to sell yourself first to the public before anything. Sugar Ray Leonard was a great salesman. He sold himself on his looks, on his speed, on his talent, but he made sure you knew his name, man. When he got that microphone in his hands, he was a charmer, but he'd mention names. He'd say, Tommy Hearns, I'm coming for you. Everybody wanted to see that fight. That this is what fighters have to do. It's such a simple plan. They have to create. They have to make themselves superstars, and that's not a hard thing to do with all the media we have. But when you do that, you also have to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk. So that's what I'm seeing a problem here. I'm seeing a lot of talk, but I'm not seeing a lot of action.
Right, and that's where Floyd came in. When Floyd fought Oscar, he said, "Yeah, I took Oscar back from the airport. Do something about it." So Floyd had it, man. No matter who he fought. When he was doing the press conference against Ricky Hatton, he's over there flicking off the fans. So he embraced that villain role. So hopefully, Bruce, these fighters will give us what we want, but they do got to go that extra step. You can't play the nice guy all the time. It has to be perfect. It has to be just right. If you're gonna play the villain, you got to play it just right.
Muhammad Ali was the bad guy in a couple of fights. He was the villain when he fought Ernie Terrell. Ernie Terrell would not call him Muhammad Ali; he called him Clay, and it was bang bang. What's my name? He took him for 15 rounds, and he was booed. It was at the Houston Astrodome, and even the announcers were saying, Ali is not putting on a good light in this fight. This is terrible. And he did the same thing again when he fought Floyd Patterson, but. Today we don't talk about that. We just talk about the aura of Ali because he created that. And like you're saying, Oliver, you can wear the white hat, you can wear the black hat. As long as people notice that hat, man, you're creating that spark, man. You got the heat. You're making the dough, good or bad. When he fought Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd played the bad guy.
Did,
but nobody remembers that now. All they remember is undefeated Floyd Mayweather, a great fighter. He won that fight. He took the short end of the purse, but he's remembered for all the accomplishments he made, not for all the degrading, him and De La Hoya going back and forth, which they did a lot of. But that's all to sell a fight, and that's what these guys, they're not doing that today, man. They're not taking advantage of all these platforms that they have. Instead, we got to hear Bill Haney and Tio Lopez Sr. Man, let's hear these fighters. Let's hear these fighters tell us that they're going to make the fights.
Yeah, now we're hearing more of the promoters than the fighters, man. We're hearing more of the promoters and seeing more of them in front of the cameras than the actual fighters. And this kind of leads to, you know, to the next topic I want to talk about. That Tyson Fury is doing the same freaking thing, dude, and Anthony Joshua. I'm blaming both. Okay, too much back and forth. When the heck are these guys going to fight? They're not even. It looks like they're not even going to fight, man. You know, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. And I much less think there's going to be a Wilder and Tyson Fury trilogy. I think that's a lot less probable than a fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, because of all those things that I just posted a video talking about that, you know, showing the receipts, whatever you want to call it, right, on social media, all the freaking things that Tyson Fury has been saying recently. Now he can care less who he fights. He just wants 2 fights. And I'm thinking that personally, he's going to retire, man. Tyson Fury is all over the place right now. I'm not taking anything away from his skills in the ring. Okay, apart from that whole controversy thing, I'm just talking about before that. When go back when he fought Klitschko. You know, Tyson Fury got some. He has a really awkward style. I'm not taking anything away from his skills in the ring. You know what I'm saying, but generally speaking, it looks like, you know, Tyson Fury. It looks like we're not going to see the Anthony Joshua fight. Hopefully, it happens, but I just doubt that. And much less, I think we can say goodbye to Tyson Fury versus Wilder trilogy, man. What do you got on that, LeVar? Then we'll go to Bruce.
Honestly, man, I think.
Oh, you're eating.
Yes.
You're eating, right?
No. I'm sorry, man. No,
Oh,
I
okay,
just got
sorry.
a lot of noise in the background. To be honest with you, man, with this whole thing with Fury, it doesn't surprise me, man. It doesn't surprise me that he's having the issues that he's having. He's trying to find a way to avoid that third fight with Wilder. Honestly, what gets me upset is because Wilder gave you the opportunity in the second fight. You took it. At least have some type of honor and give Wilder that third fight. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? If you claim you didn't cheat, this is coming from Fury now. If you claim you didn't cheat, why don't you run it back again for the third time? It doesn't make any sense to me. It damages the sport of boxing, man, when stuff like that doesn't happen. You're talking about a trilogy here, and we haven't had a trilogy in a long time. So Fury, to me, he's trying to find a way of getting out of the Wilder fight. He's trying to avoid it, and like you said, Renee, I have a feeling that he's going to retire, or he might have a relapse, so that he can try to avoid the fight. Anything's possible with this guy. Who knows? When it comes to AJ, I don't understand it. I don't understand why these two guys can't get it on in the ring. If the Fury and the Wilder fight can't happen, why can't AJ and Fury get it on? This is, like I said, this damages the sport of boxing, especially the heavyweight division. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I understand that Wilder has he has the power to stop that match from happening between Fury and AJ. I honestly think that Fury should go ahead and honor Wilder's how can I say it? Honor Wilder by giving him that third fight, man. If you truly believe that you can beat him, and I'm talking about Fury. If Fury truly believes that he can beat Wilder anytime, any day, any second, run it back for a third time. Or if not, have AJ and Wilder fight, and then the winner gets Fury. Something. I don't know. What you think, Bruce?
Okay, well, after seeing that interview, Tyson Fury looks like the furthest thing away from a fighter that I've seen. It looks like he didn't have any shoulders. Look, he had baby shoulders. He wasn't tight. He looked like he was on a binge. Who knows? But he did not look like a fighter. He did not look like he was in fighting shape. He seemed to have every excuse in the book. His feelings are I've gotten hurt. You don't deserve a title fight. I mean, you hurt my feelings, man. I'm going to give you a fight. That should that shouldn't even be a factor. That's how you sell a fight with the controversy, man. That fight is so hot. For the life of me, I don't know why it isn't being made. And his fight with Anthony Joshua, he's talking about backing out of that. I don't know what he's going to do. I personally think he was high when he was doing that interview we saw the other day. He didn't make any sense. He was changing subjects and babbling on and on. I'm not sure we're going to see him fight again. He could retire.
I know how Wilder can get. I know how Wilder can get him. Let's say Fury decides to drop the belts. He retires, right? Wilder can go after those belts. Hopefully, fight AJ, beats AJ. Now he's what, undisputed heavyweight champion. From there, I would be calling out Fury.
Yeah,
I would do
AJ won't fight him though. That's the problem.
AJ
yeah. AJ Wilder ain't AJ Wilder, man. AJ don't want that fight, man. And the only way I think the only way that AJ will fight Wilder is if Wilder grows out of his prime, man. I mean, like real six, real quick, saying the AJ Fury fight should happen next. Hopefully it does, but just like what Bruce saying, and I just posted a video about 30 minutes, a 30-minute video. I recently posted a video on speaking about Fury and how he's all over the place, like what Bruce is saying right now. It's hard for me to believe an AJ Fury fight's going to happen, and it's even more hard for me to believe that a Fury Wilder fight will happen. And also, LeVar, the thing here is that if Wilder retire, I'm sorry, if Fury retires right now, he still has 2 fights under top rank. He has to fight somebody. He has to fight 2 fights. And it's a possibility. I think it's more possible that Fury will fight AJ, but even though that doesn't look too clear it's going to happen, that's more possible. And then after that, he's going to fight some other guy, and then he's just going to retire, man. I see that more probable. Go ahead, Laura.
And I see that. But I respect what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. But it's like it goes back to what Bruce says. If Fury drops the belts, right? And I understand that Eddie Hearn might not want to put Wilder, AJ in there with Wilder. AJ, yeah. But what Wilder can do, what belt does AJ have?
He has 4 belts. It's the all those other every belt except WBC. Yeah.
So what Wilder can do, can't Wilder become the #1 contender for those belts? And he can sit up there and try to push and go after AJ. Exactly. It's like what you said, Bruce. These fighters, they have to be willing to go that extra mile to get the fight that they want.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Absolutely. They're not doing that. They're not doing that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
And Deontay Wilder, he should be sought to be an opponent. I mean, you just look at the guy's record. He defended his title 10 times. He held a heavyweight championship for 5 years. He knocked down everybody that he fought. Knocked out most of them. I mean, the guy is possibly the hottest puncher in the heavyweight division. You know, you can compare him to Ernie Shavers, but Ernie Shavers didn't win a heavyweight championship and defend it 10 times. Wilder is a big notch on anybody's gun, and people are afraid of him. And Deontay Wilder deserves more than that. He should be clamored for a fight. His fight with his rematch with Fury was the biggest heavyweight fight in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it was.
It's just common sense to put those two in the ring together. It makes business sense.
But the thing here that I'm sorry to interrupt, but the thing here, and it connects to what you guys are all saying. DP Rocker says they're freezing Wilder out. It can be that, bro. And it also, one of the things that gets me though is that why I just haven't heard much from Wilder. Why isn't he aggressively seeking? You know what I'm saying? These fights. Aggressively continue seeking AJ. You know what I'm saying? Aggressively continue seeking. You see what I'm saying? But it seems like he's kind of quiet. That's what kind of gets me. And with all these other fights, AJ is quiet too. He ain't looking for Wilder. You know what I'm saying? None of these guys are. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we also have another generation of heavyweights that are waiting to fill in their shoes.
Right? Yeah, Bruce. That's the thing. I think that's going to happen. I mean, tables turn. Things change. I think that's what I'm saying. I think that Fury's close to retiring. I don't think he's gonna be in the sport of boxing much longer. AJ, who knows if he's even going to fight Wilder? Wilder, he's getting up in there in age already. So I just, it's probably going to be a new generation coming up, a heavyweight. So we got Sheena saying here, let's say Fury vacates the WBC belt. The two fighters have to fight for the vacant belt. Do two fighters have to fight? So if Fury vacates the BBC, yeah, it should be. And I think that Wilder would be one of the forefront. He has to be one of the fighters that would fight for that vacant belt if, like what LeVar was saying, if hypothetically speaking, Fury. Now, the thing here is that Fury hasn't even defended any championship belt in his whole career.
No.
I mean, you see, that's the thing here. I mean, Fury, man, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I don't know. He's all over the place, which is why I made a video. Like I said, I reiterate, I just made a video recently, almost 30 minutes long, talking about this, about Fury. It's like, he's all over the place. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see these big fights we want to see as far as with Fury. You know what I'm saying? And we got here Real saying Eddie won't put AJ. Exactly. He won't. You know what I'm saying? And we got Eric R saying Wilder has to go after the IBF route. That's the only belt that forces you to fight your Mando. Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what? I got Boxing Loser Stars. Hey, what's going on, man, fam? Right now, you know what? A link, bro. I'm going to get going, man, because we've been going on for 2 hours. I got to go do something right now. And it's been great, dude. This is just amazing. I love it. People jumped in the building. We had new people. We even had new people in this live today jumping in the building as in my last live session, man. Awesome stuff right here. To a certain extent, boxing, I understand what you're saying. Current heavyweight champs are, well, the thing here is that's what we're saying, that like some of these heavyweights, you know what I'm saying, and all fighters in general, like what Bruce is talking about, when you compare it with historical, you know what I'm saying, fighters, they got to aggressively seek these fights, man. And it looks like they're not really doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's what Bruce was talking about. That's what he was preaching today in this session, man. So real quick, man, any last words, LeVar?
Hey, Renee and Bruce, man, I want to thank y'all, man. I had fun. You know, I was having my going live withdrawals, and I'm glad that we were able to come together, my two brothers, and talk the sport of boxing, man. And to all the people who's new to the channel, hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Pretty much everybody. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. But for the new subscribers, hey, Renee, appreciate it. We appreciate it. And just be safe out there. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you wash your hands. This pandemic is real. And just take care of yourself. And Renee, salute to you, King. Thank you for having me on here. And Bruce, my brother from another mother, man, it's always an honor to talk to you.
And that's where it's Bruce.
I had a fantastic time on here, man. Everybody out there, it's all family. It's all love. You know, we're all in this together, man. Like Renee, when I first hooked up with Renee, he sent me back one love, and man, my wife is like, "What, one love?" I said, "Yeah, man, the love of boxing," and that's what it's all about. That's what we're all here for, man. And we can disagree, we can agree, but it all comes down to our love for boxing, and man, that's why I love to be here. You know, there's no hostility, there's no hate. We're all fans of the sport we love, and we can talk about it. And we can go back any fighter we choose to, and we can talk about it any way we want, man. I appreciate you having me on here, Renee. LeVar, I appreciate everything you've been doing for me, and I hope to continue doing this.
Hey, we made it.
I saw that.
Wait. We got the badge of certification, man. And you know what it was? It was what Eric R is saying. Hey, I thought he would, Loser Stars, man. I don't block people, man. You're the first, I think the second guy I blocked so far. You know, this is a small platform, bro, but when you start calling people chumps, you got to get at it.
I told you about that a little earlier, didn't I?
Yeah, but I give him a chance. I give everybody a chance. You know what I'm saying?
He's a well-known troll. Sometimes he's a nice guy. Sometimes he's a funny guy.
Last live session, he was cool. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
You call people chumps around here, you're out of here, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
Sorry. I mean, Loser Stars, I say sorry to you, bro. I mean, even though you're whatever people call you, but I respect everyone, bro. But when it comes to disrespecting here, you got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Eric R, thank you, man. We got, hey, family, LeVar, Bruce, we made it.
Yes, sir. We did it.
We made it. Mama, I made it.
Absolutely.
Mama, I made it.
Good time.
Yeah, Sheena, thanks so much, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. We keep going live. We're going to keep doing this. Sheena, thanks so much. And just keep the notification bells on. And we're going to keep pushing this, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much, man. Stay safe out there. Have a wonderful fight weekend. Mega fight. Canelo versus Yildirim, guy. I'm just joking, man. I'm just playing. Yeah, right. But hey, it's all good. It is what it is. Stay safe, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace out, family. Peace out, Bruce. Peace out, LeVar. Thank you guys so much for jumping in. Peace.
Peace.